There are so many things I love about being a member of the church. I just love the purpose that it gives me and the direction that it gives me and just the vision of who I am and who I can be.
I love being a member because I love the sense of community.
I love the doctrine that our church teaches about Christ and who he is and his unique life mission to help and heal and bless all of us.
I have gotten a lot of community support from the church, and when we were moving around, that was something that was really helpful to my family.
Elder Ballard said, "We as members need to do better to listen to our LGBTQ brothers and sisters." He said it perfectly. In high school, I started coming out to people. I was extremely depressed, and I was extremely alone. I felt like all the control had been taken from me because I was seen as something unholy, something awful, something corruptive.
It's when people who used to trust you with their children or used to come up and talk to you at sacrament meeting are all of a sudden very standoffish and feeling like it's harder to relate to you when you're essentially the same person.
There are so many lessons for women that are about marriage and everything that your husband's going to be. Like, tell me about what you want your husband to be like. And just all these things about this husband that I didn't want. And that made me uncomfortable, but there's no way to counter it without outing yourself.
The message I'd send to fellow active members of the church, and I'm active, I serve as a temple ordinance worker, is part of our baptism covenants, as we know, is to mourn for those that mourn and comfort for those that comfort and bear one another's burdens.
How can you bear my burdens if you don't know what they are? And how can you comfort me if you don't know what I'm suffering with? And what I always tell my friends who are LGBT and members of the church is that if they want to come to church, there's room for them on the pew next to me.
Always assume that there is an LGBT person around you, because there probably is. Like, chances are, everywhere you go in church and in your workplace and in the grocery store and when you're at home with your family, there's a very good chance that there's a gay person around you.
We should be incorporating them into our lives and into our church and ward family. They should be invited to, sit at our tables with us and help our kids get to know them for who they are and what they have to offer. And then you have the ones that, have also found a partner and have found happiness outside of the church, but still have a great love for the gospel.
It's not crossing a line in Mormonism to have a gay person come into your home and share how they're doing and how they're feeling. It's not crossing a line in Mormonism to have LGBTQ people share their story in a fireside or in a Fifth Sunday. I think, in fact, it's part of our baptism covenants, and it's part of our responsibility as fellow members.
And my two sisters, they still offer to support me. We know things have been hard for you sometimes, and we don't understand this, but we don't have to.
And, there may be that one thing that maybe you don't see eye to eye with, but when you look at the big picture, it's so minor compared to what they have to offer.
I don't think there's any part of my life that has been more significantly affected by a group than the gay community, in a very, very positive way. I mean, the things that the church talks about, the principles about being Christ-like and loving, the LGBT community are masters at these things. And so for me, my life is so much better because I have a gay son, and I'm fortunate to associate with the community.
And while I'm not saying that we should start casting doubt on our leaders, but I think that if we can just start to listen to people and believe their stories, moreover than this generalized idea of what or who somebody is,
we can heal a lot of people by just letting them feel heard. and understood and validated how they feel.
Listen to what they say, listen to how they feel, validate what they're saying, reflect on what they're saying, and don't prescribe a solution. Just reflect with empathy and validate everything they're going through. Because that's all anyone needs. Love, validation, and being seen for their individuality.
We need to listen to and understand what our LGBT brothers and sisters are feeling and experiencing. Certainly, we must do better than we have done in the past so that all members feel they have a spiritual home where their brothers and sisters love them and where they have a place to worship and serve the Lord.